oh my God, you guys, some people have to go to work. Do you understand? Some of us have a job, and that means I can't waste my life having to learn a boss. Okay? Some people aren't as advantaged as you guys are in life to be able to enjoy Souls games. Okay? So maybe you should check your privilege. It's fucking video games. Some of us can only play 1 millisecond every week. Okay? Yeah, so guys, you gotta shut up. All right? Not everyone's as privileged as you guys. It was like when I was talking to Feeble King too, because I'm like, man, don't like, you know, do shit like this. Like, there's way better people out there. And he's like, I don't think it's reasonable for like to expect critics to just know everything about the game. I'm like, okay, but like, then why are you acting so offended when I make fun of you for saying wrong shit? Like, if you don't care about being right, like, why get mad when like I call you out for being wrong? Like, you know? Yeah, people are like, these games are so obtuse. I'm like, oh, 100% it is the game's fault. Yes, it is obtuse, but like, that doesn't mean you can just get shit wrong. It's like a free pass because like, oh, it's like harder than other video games. That's kind of the point, you know? Bad criticism is just as bad as bad art. I would say it's worse inherently, because the thing about criticism, I'm not saying criticism's like inherently worthless or inherently bad, or like, you know, criticism's worthless, or that art is just so much better, or that all art is like so subjective that you can't not like it. I'm just saying that art is intrinsically someone creating something, right? So if you're gonna be a critic, the way I view criticism is that like you are shitting on art or like something, right? You risk nothing as a critic. You are producing nothing. You're not creating anything. Some people, like as a critic, they get this like fucking power trip where they think like they're so important because they have to tell people what's good art and what's bad art and all that shit. And I think it's the other way around. I think critics are way less worthwhile than fucking artists. So it's like, you should at least know your place, right? And especially when you have such lazy dog shit criticism and like, or like even just vapid, like surface level criticism. It's like, ugh. I think bad criticism is inherently worse than bad art because it is not, you know, you don't risk anything, you don't create anything. Good criticism becomes its own art form. Yeah, fair enough. I don't know. It seems like a check and balance to art, but you could probably consider it like its own form of art. Matthew Matosis, I generally think is good. Noah Caldwell Gervais, I generally think is good. I used to watch that shit in like 2014 and I just hate it now. I think it's not worthwhile. The only like video essayists I watch now are like Jacob Geller and Matt Saba. Those are the only two that are like, have like good, insightful criticism with good thoughts that make you think and are concise, and they put fucking effort into their fucking videos. It's like, imagine that. Wow. What a breath of fucking fresh air, you know? Jacob is very good. He is. Someone mentioned him because I was like, I literally think all video essayists are worthless. And someone mentioned him one time when I was streaming and I checked him out and yeah, he's fantastic. I definitely wasn't sold at first. I was having this conversation with Perry the other day about fucking Noah Caldwell Gervais. I'm like, okay, but like, does his video have to be fucking 7 hours? Even though he doesn't really go off on tangents, but like, it's just that endless train of thought where like after, you know, 25 minutes, your brain can't learn anymore. You just don't, you stop listening. It just becomes meaningless after that point, right? Matt's older videos age like milk, but his new stuff is still really, really good. So that's the thing about Matthew Matosis. He has some good insights. He doesn't run too off the rails, get too rambly. I can follow his train of thought generally, but the problem with Matthew Matosis, in my opinion, is that sometimes he gets way too fucking esoteric for me to even give a fuck. It's like, he's like, what is a video game? Why do video gamers get enjoyment from pushing a sequence of buttons on a controller? And it's like, bro, I literally don't give a fuck. Like, who gives a shit? It's like, he sometimes does that. But the thing about Noah Caldwell Gervais is like, does his videos have to be 7 hours long? Is my problem. But also there was the one thing where he just went on this wild fucking thing I didn't agree with about Bloodborne, where he's like, I mean, I'm like really dumbing the shit down, but he basically was like, Bloodborne was like based on Lovecraft, and Lovecraft had problematic, you know, he was problematic individual, but the art was good. To a much lesser extent, Bloodborne is also problematic because of its misogynistic portrayal of women and its display of birth or like and pregnancy, and how it's like weird and alien and oh, spooky boogie, we can't understand that shit, it's alien. Bro, it's body horror, you dip. It's literally, it's another human being living inside your body. and you can explore that idea through body horror in your horror game. Like, what the fuck is the problem? How is this misogynistic to women? It's like, oh, well, are we just assuming that the aliens raped them to somehow impregnate? Like the problem with that is that he, for a brief moment, gets so fucked up in the idiotic, like literal text instead of like the thematic of it, that he gets sucked into the whole, well, are these giant Cthulhu aliens raping a woman, like a prostitute in Victorian era fucking, you know, London? It's like, what? Did God rape the Virgin Mary? No, it was fucking virgin birth, bro. Like, it's just cosmic horror, body horror. Like, it's not fucking misogynistic. Like, I don't know, it's just so fucking, it just came out of nowhere. I was like, what are we talking about? I like and respect long form content. I don't, Prin. I literally don't. I think it's pointless. There is no reason to be that long. You can do a video series and break it into topics. Like, when you talk about like Noah, Mahler, Joseph, those guys, you can't even fucking timestamp their shit because they don't organize it neatly into coherent sections and topics like a fucking argumentative essay would be written, right? So like, I hate that. That's lunacy. It's just endless stream of consciousness. They literally sit down and they just start writing and they just never stop. And there's no thought to like structure or like anything. I hate that. It's fucking lazy, and there's like no beneficial reason to do it like that, except for like it's less effort on your part. And then people think that you're fucking Jesus Christ for doing it. It's like, it's literally the easy route. It's fucking insane. Good writing is rewriting. Exactly. I watched Mahler's Doctor Strange video and I felt my life expectancy drop by 4 years. Dude, I watched Mahler's Game of Thrones video. That was the first and time I'd ever seen Mahler, and the first time I ever watched him. I watched his entire Game of Thrones video because I was like, I just finished the last season of Game of Thrones and I just wanted to hate it. He shows Tywin Lannister making a mad face like 300 times, where he's like, these writers are fucking wankers, lazy wankers. And then he just shows Tywin Lannister. He just does that 300 times. And I'm like, wow, this guy's awful. And then I realized afterwards that he's so far up his own ass that he thinks he's the only objective critic for doing that. It's like, what? How fucking far up your own ass can you be? Mahler is the absolute worst. Like, he's so
far up his own ass he can feel it in his throat.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy, but it's like, oh, you guys, you know, I don't have to have my opinion on it. Just watch this video of this watch this long hour-long video, then you'll get it. But you're wrong. I don't need to have my own opinion. You guys are just wrong. Just watch this video. I don't have to explain myself. But watch Jack Saint's video about Mahler. It's basically Mahler and like his fucking furry friends debating movies, and like they call these other like people criticizing them like F slurs and shit. And it's like, yeah, it's called Mahler. Long criticism is not good criticism. That's a fantastic video where it's like they subject themselves. They do the Dang It JM route where they just torment and subject themselves to an ungodly amount of Mahler content so that they can actually call him out on shit, because most people just physically don't watch his shit because it's absurd, and that's the point, to make it as obtuse as possible to even begin to respond to them, right? Mahler's editor literally just balances audio.
If this was a better game like Neo, you'd be able to do that.
Bro, how, like, all you have to do is set a compressor and then just build a noise gate, and then literally that's it. That takes 5 fucking seconds, bro. I'm long past the ability to watch bad criticism for fun. Yeah, same, bro. I did one and it just about drained me. Because like the more you dive into it, the more it drives you fucking insane. Like what happened to me. Because like the thing with the Anderson video is I would watch it 5, 6 times. I would write notes and create my own timestamps.
How many views did you expect that video to get?
None. Literally my most viewed video at the time was 50 views. I had 50 subs. Like it was like 90 or something like that. But the reason I made it is because like you would watch his video like 5 times and then you would just come upon a part, and I just don't remember him saying this. He would talk about this whole topic for like 2 minutes and you just don't remember that being in the video after seeing it for 5 times. And you're like, was this always here, or did he patch the video? Like, am I crazy?
Yeah, it's
Get me out of here.
Just an unorganized video like that.
It drives you insane. You can't even unpack it all yourself. Your brain can't fucking fucking unpack a video like that. It's insane. And his video is only like 15 minutes longer than mine. Your mind just fucking is not of this world anymore. Trying to fucking process these goddamn long form videos. Anyway, fun fact, okay, that's another video essayist. I don't really think he's a video essayist in that sense, but like John, Super Eye Patch Wolf, I've been a patron of Super Eye Patch Wolf for like 7 years, at least 7 or 8 years. I can check my Patreon, actually. I was a Patreon to Super Eye Patch Wolf when I was so broke that I was stealing drinks at the bar. People would put a beer down, fucking snipe it. Vodka screwdriver? You want a vodka screwdriver? I'll find you one. Just fucking snipe that shit. All right? That's how good Super Eye Patch Wolf is. That guy's a fucking G. Wenderson.